Is the heart game at all any different, or is it just the same logic, just with hearts instead?
It's actually it's a little different in this game's case, where you're pretty much playing around with the what do you call it, fucking 3D hopping as usual.
Oh, the bouncing part. Yeah, okay.
I'm willing to show that one off later when we do the second quest, because that's going to be where it's going to be more helpful.
So I see we have stumbled across an underground forest.
Oh, yeah, underground forest number 1, number 2, and also these things with the arrows remind me of one of those enemies from Wario Land 3. Yeah, the blue guys. Yeah, the spearheads. Come on, into the cloud.
Now, if I remember correctly, there was also a Mario Brothers game proper planned for the Virtual Boy.
I believe it was going to be paired up with that Virtual Boy Mario Land pitch that they had, where apparently they were going to mesh Mario in with a little bit of Zelda.
Huh? Really?
Like it'd be like a top-down
Mario?
Actually, yeah. You know what that reminds me? It reminds me of, like, I think I see where they're going with it. I think it would have... Hear me out here. I think it would have controlled...
That
Eagle statue?
And combined with the Sea Dragon, I become King Dragon Wario!
Arr.
He shoots big fireballs, and... what else can he do?
Now, is it a permanent power-up, or do you lose it after a while?
You can lose it, like every other power-up, so treat it preciously.
Like, if you get hit, you'll lose it.
But also go nuts with it if you can.
That's a doofy-looking cat.
Yes, but,
Where's the Jigglypuff?
I guess it kind of does look like a Jigglypuff now that you mention it.
I forget, can we fly with this now, or...?
Oh, yes we can, actually. Thanks for reminding me.
We can fly?
Yes, we can fly!
Oh my goodness!
Fly high, sweet greedy dragon!
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you get that, except for the shoulder barge, you pretty much get every other power-up attribute.
Honestly, the only thing this thing is missing is the shoulder barge, which, I mean, staple as it is, you really don't need it for a game like this.
That's amazing!
But trying to think, but yeah, he's packing heat. Anyway. Oh, I love the... Oh, that was quick.
You see, that's the face of me when I have to wake up for, like, early morning class.
It is a mood.
It is indeed a mood.
Also, why did that little guy throw a spear when we're all the way back there?
He was trying to be clever. That's what happens to
preemptive strike, I guess.
He can only think in 2 dimensions.
Ah, okay.
This is the classic era. Anyway, I see where they're going with. I can see where they were going with the Mario Land thing. It reminds me a little bit of, honestly, it reminds me a bit of how Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the old NES worked, where like I could see where like there's a top-down Zelda overworld that separates like 2D side-scrolling levels.
Which, I mean, would have been pretty interesting for a game like Mario.
Yeah, I would have tried it out.
And I mean, say whatever you will about like the Super Mario Land series as a whole, like how when Nintendo R&D 1 handled Mario-centric products, they have about as much kooky charm to them as what you'd expect out of Metroid or even Wario Land here. Maybe not a little more subdued, but it's still there.
Hold the phone, good sir. Going back to that he can only see in 2 dimensions comment, does that mean that Wario isn't going into the theoretical background, but he's just growing smaller?
Oh yeah.
No, he's still in the background.
Are you sure?
That would throw me off. That would throw me for such a loop if that were true. And nice secret.
He looks kind of tiny back there.
Now I guess level design wise, what do you think about Wario, Virtual Boy Wario? Like, does it ever get a little like mazy?
It can get a little mazy at times, but for the most part, it's pretty left and right.
Okay.
For lack of a better word.
Hi, what are your I would say hi. What are your thoughts on all this Virtual Boy nonsense going down?
Well, I will say, I feel like I mentioned this before, but I actually did own like a physical, legit Virtual Boy years ago, and this and Mario Tennis, which is a one game that you forgot to mention when you were listing them off. They were the only 2 games that I had for it, and yeah, between the 2 of them, this is the one that I enjoyed the most.
I mean, like we said, like this one's like an action. I guess that's the thing is like most of the Virtual Boy games were more or less like they felt more like arcadey, where they were just like one thing all the time, and that's why I think a lot of people remember this one is because this is the one that felt like the most like concrete, complete like package. I think.
I'd say
Right.
they were more akin to tech demos than like arcade
Right.
experiences.
Okay,
Kind of
I
like
guess
how
that's-
Yoshi Touch and Go on a DS turned out.
I remember Touch and Go. God, that
Me
was such
too.
I felt so gypped, especially when the actual Yoshi's Island DS came out like years later for me.
But looking back on it, man, it makes me realize just how much more heart was put into Touch and Go than Island DS.
But what about all the many Mario babies? That was creative. Maybe.
They're fine and all. It's just that I don't know. Something did seem a little bloated. It felt like something was a little bloated with Island DS compared to the original.
Okay.
But would you still take that over New Island?
Probably.
To be honest, when I was younger, I thought Yoshi's Island DS was supposed to be like a pseudo reimagining of the original game. Like
Was it not meant to? Was it a sequel?
No, really, but
No,
it
it's-
was.
Well,
Oh, okay.
it is kind of a sequel, sort of.
Well, it is
Huh.
a sequel. It's really weird because both it and New Island are technically sequels. It's just that one of them's a more straightforward sequel in the worst of ways, whereas this one, I like to imagine there was at least a bit of a gap between the original and DS.
And you know, not that the stork on his grand quest on the one job he has messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, done fucked up, Stork.
Of all the things that Nintendo had to make a joke out of, why that?
I don't get it.
And honestly, what's funny is that like I know people give that flack, and for good reason. I think my favorite bit is still the way that they try to.
No key.
All right. I think one of my favorite bits is still the way that they shoehorned in Bowser, because in DS they at least try to think of a good reason for why
Jeez.
Bowser would be in the past, because he wants to find all these babies and use their power to take over the world. Whereas in New Island, they say, and I quote, "Suddenly out of nowhere, warping through time and space, King Bowser appears." And that's
like
it.
they really just it genuinely felt like they had like a sticky note that said, "We'll come up with reason later."
I mean, again, I'll say in Bowser's defense.
Oh no!
Crap.
Well, wasn't Artzest in charge of that one?
That's what I get for talking about New Island too much.
Oh, was that Icky?
Wasn't it Artzest in... Well, Arttoon/Artzest that was in charge of Yoshi's
New Island, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they were the same guys who made Yoshi's Topsy Turvy, which was another Yoshi's Island spinoff that wasn't very good.
Didn't they also do Hey Pikmin?
Yeah, they did.
I think they did?
Yeah, they did.
There we go. Oh,
I don't
really.
know.
And it's really funny because I heard a lot from what I've seen and like some of like the fan reviews I've heard is that like if you look past the fact that it's not a traditional Pikmin game, it's actually not that bad.
It's
Which
alright.
is weird considering it's also Artzest.
Well, again, Artzest just kind of, I don't know, feels like a bit of an outsourced
They just
company.
exist.
Right.
It does exist.
They do exist.
I am looking forward to their Nintendo Switch port. Not Nintendo Switch port. I'm looking forward to their Nintendo 3DS port of Balan Wonderworld.
Assuming
I'm still waiting on my Mighty Number 9 port to the Nintendo 3DS.
Actually, I was about to say like would they make like a port of Mighty Number 9 for Switch, or is it already on Switch?
They didn't. It didn't. And I mean, granted, we got something better out of the deal. It's called Mighty Gumball Burst.
Correct.
I think,
Michael Van Burst is
I
actually
think
really good.
Mighty Number 9 came out before the Switch was released.
It was like literally about a year, I want to say.
Yeah. I definitely remember it was like
Now you're supposed to
2016.
get. Oh, there you go.
There we are.
Think with dimensions, my friend. Think with dimensions.
Also,
Now
we
you're
stuck.
thinking. Now you're thinking with Wario's.
And I will also say something we kind of glanced over for a brief bit. The time, whenever you start a level, you usually have only 20 minutes to beat it.
That's pretty.
What
Oh,
happens if you
well.
spend more than 20 minutes?
Oh, that's all. Okay, so that's why we had to go back. We were missing out on all this. But
Yeah.
where is the treasure? The key.
There it
wait.
is.
It's in here. It's a stopwatch.
Ooh.
We're late.
Ah, for a very important date with money.
No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late.
Well, we need to
But
find
yeah,
it.
no, they usually give you 20 minutes on the clock because, again, these levels, they can be a little labyrinthine, especially on your first time.
Well, now
If I
we need to
ask
find the
again,
key.
what happens if you spend over 20 minutes in a level?
You
Die.
die.
You die?
Time over.
Okay, there's the key.
I was gonna climb all the way up.
Oh, well,
Grab a
so-
heart from my
wow,
troubles.
Fortune is right here. Nice. Okay.
Open the happy
yeah,
one.
no, yeah. My guess is it would literally just be like in Sonic going up to 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Hit it, bub.
Hey, bub.
What you watching?
Nothing good on the news.
That sucks.
I just remember, hey, what you watching back there? Leave it to Beaver.
Hey, wait a minute.
I
At
love
1,190 Wait, that may actually be. Hang on. At 1,197, that may actually be enough to max it out. Bam!
Oh shit!
Oh, baby!
Because we already had 1,000. Nice.
Perfect.
Perfect.
We're in the money, and I'll never have to get to worry about getting the worst ending.
Wait, really? That was already enough to do it?
Yeah,
Yep.
you need at least over
That's
5. The worst ending is if you have less than 5,000 coins.
Well, already.
And the
we're
best
just-
ending
bam.
is if you have 9999 or
That's
10,000
yes.
points.
I'll look it up.
I will say, it's kind of a sad shame though, because I honestly do think the worst ending is also the funniest.
You can shut that off.
Long story. Honestly, should I go ahead and just spoil like what happens during the? Ow!
No,
Hang on,
talk about
so
when we get
well,
there.
Okay, we'll talk about when we get there. In the meantime, Wario's gonna run for his fucking life.
Oh, geez, they're kappas. Also, I'm
Kappas and bats with claws.
okay, so I'm checking
With,
out
with
here. And,
knuckle dusters.
okay, so I'm checking out here, and okay, so this is how this works. So technically, at this point, if James wants to get the best ending, he actually needs to miss one of the treasures.
Right, which is actually one thing I could easily do that in the final level.
That's fair.
Because it's one of those things where I'll just spoil this right now. The last treasure you get in the game is literally right near the very beginning of the level. The only thing
Okay.
is that it's a little like you can see it. You can even break through it if you're powerful enough, but it's kind of easy to glance over.
Okay. And beyond that, Icky, that's the first thing that the game checks is to see if you've collected all the treasure. If you collected the treasure, it's a purely consider this run a time attack mode, which shouldn't be too hard. And then,
Wait.
but now since we are not going for all the treasures, the coin limits we need to reach, Icky, is if we want to get the best ending. Fortunately, they don't need us to get 99999 again. They just need us to get over 50,000 coins.
Ah, okay.
So,
Speaking
we
of
can
$50,000 dues, my food is here, so I will be right back.
Alrighty.
No worries.
No worries.
But yeah, so that is much nicer. We don't have to hopefully do as many cheats. We just need to get lucky in that gambling ring some more.
That's really it. Because, like, I mean, granted, nothing saying you can't try to just play the game straight. Like, you'll still get a pretty reasonable amount if you look hard enough. But I think to get the best ending, you are required to get a little lucky in that bonus round.
That's what I figure. And then yeah, again for the second quest where we'll try to go for all the treasures. That's gonna be, we just need to make sure we beat it in under 2 hours.
Which I could easily do.
Because
I mean,
then you don't have to worry about all the coins. Yeah, it's just prioritization. Oh look, a wing. Oh look, hang on, James, go back there. The wing power up.
Yeah, I should probably grab that real quick, shouldn't I?
And assuming it disappears, or I don't know.
Power-ups and items will never disappear in Wario Land.
Yay, object permanence.
Yeah, no, this game is surprisingly one of the best about item permanence out of any old school platformer of its type.
Sweet.
And they're also highly detailed too. Like you could tell me that those coins are actual 3D models, and I'd almost agree with you. Keyword being almost.
Yeah.
I mean, well, first off, I'd say, like, as far as an action platformer goes, especially given its short length, given the time thing, like, this doesn't look like a bad game to, like, revisit every now and then just for, like, a fun little run through.
Oh yeah, no, like, dude, this game gives me a similar sort of thrill that I would get out of, like, Luigi's Mansion or Donkey Kong Jungle Beat.
Yeah, I get that.
In terms of how quick it is and how connected it can be. In some ways, honestly, the joke I said at the very beginning of this whole thing really stands true. This is essentially a full, almost bona fide Metroid experience, but with Wario.
I can see that. Also, not to immediately pat ourselves on the shoulders, but I need to go back and watch our Jungle Beat commentary because that was still wild.
Yes, it was. Even right down to when I was trying to get that high beat score.
That
like,
was freaking. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, by the way, want to see one of Wario's other greatest strengths?
What?
He's so strong, he can climb up waterfalls.
Jeez.
Devil damn.
How's he? Listen, wait, hang on. Listen to this. He's trying so hard.
I can swim. I can swim.
Swim!
Mara, I don't think your biceps are allowed to, like, do that for swimming.
My biceps defy all logic.
My biceps literally win me gold. And ladies.
Fair.
Not all at once, though.
More on that later.
Yeah. More on that next run, anyway.
So was this developed by usual Nintendo R&D?
Yes, it was. It was again. It was literally their very second Wario game.
And then
And actually, it's funny bringing that up because I think a good bulk of what was made on the Virtual Boy was made by the R&D1 staff.
What a...
Because I know because that's right. I know Mario Clash was as well.
Yeah, it was.
Oh wait.
Honestly, it just goes to show that, like, again, if there ever was a remake of Virtual Boy Wario Land, they should just add in like something equivalent to Mario Clash as like a bonus.
I mean, in the same vein as how they gave us Mario Brothers and stuff with the Mario and Luigi RPGs.
Oh yeah. Well, even though that was essentially just reused straight from the advanced games.
And even then, it was only
Well,
the first Mario and Luigi that did that.
Well, either way, you see where I'm going with that. Oh, TNT blocks. Oh.
Also, I will say, just for the heck of it, I will be looking. I will go looking for all the treasures, but again, I don't mind missing out on the last one, just because again, I want to make this seem. Oh, a bridal dress.
I don't know if I can fan this though.
I'll look beautiful.
You know, I'm sure one of my employees back in Diamond City would probably want this.
Here comes the war.
Actually, if I remember correctly, you could give. I want to say there's at least one male character in Get It Together who does get overly fascinated with the bridal dress. I can't remember which one it was though.
Just going off the bit of lore that they establish in like the gallery, I'm going to assume it's Orbulon.
It might be Orbulon. I could be wrong though. I know that Mona will love it. I think Lulu loves it as well. I don't recall the other two though. It's definitely not 5-Volt though. I mean, kind of obvious why.
Yeah, because she's already married.
If not married, then at least she's a mother.
Yeah. Like, who do you think her husband would have looked like?
That's a good question.
You know what? That should be something that they explore in the next WarioWare game, where they introduce, like, the husband, and they have, like, a bitter rivalry that can only be settled through microgames.
I mean, what I'm wondering is, like, what sort of punny name would they make with the father? Because all the characters that are associated with 9-Volt have a very similar naming schema.
Let me see. Well, there's the volts, there's the amps,
I mean, Logan, you're the big nerd out of all of us, do you know?
How about something involving watts?
I was gonna call him the Triple A.
Triple A.
I don't know. And honestly, hear me out here. And that's why he's Wario's biggest competitor in terms of game development. Wario's the indie development, and he is the Triple A.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're right. I mean, you know what? Maybe that could be the big twist. He was the one that developed the Super Puro games.
Thus giving the Volt family even more incentive to ally themselves with Wario, in spite of Wario being so Wario.
Actually, hold on, wait. I just remember... That does remind me of something. I'll just go do the index too. What's up?
Icky's not here, let's cheat.
Okay. Are you sure?
Icky's
He's not gonna know.
We're gonna...
Okay. Whatever he don't know won't hurt him.
And...
Until he watches it on playback.
Check. Oh!
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, well, we're gonna cheat harder next time, so do it one more time. We're cheating again.
Okay.
So, save state here.
One more time for the road.
And then let me watch. Okay, so it's the far left one when we load.
Ha!
There you go.
Okay.
I've come to bargain.
we just need to do it enough to break 50k, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore.